Golden Book Video presents Big Bird, starring in
Da-da-da-da! Everyone makes mistakes!
adapted from the Golden Book of the same name by Emily Pearl Kingsley, illustrated by A. Delaney, in cooperation with the Children's Television Workshop. A Sesame Street story, featuring Jim Henson's Sesame Street Muppets.
Hi there. My name is Little Bird. I wanted to tell you about an awful thing that happened on Sesame Street just the other day. It was a beautiful sunny day. I was sitting on the fence in the backyard when my friend Big Bird came along. Big Bird was thinking about something. He was thinking so hard, he didn't even see me sitting there on the fence.
I wonder what I should get Mr. Snuffleupagus for his birthday. Maybe he'd like some new roller skates. Or maybe a snuffle yo-yo.
Big Bird was thinking so hard that he didn't look where he was going, and whack!
Whoa! Whoops!
He walked right into Mrs. Washington's fresh, clean clothes that she had just washed and hung out in the sun to dry.
Oh, no! Look what I've done! What a mess I've made! Boy, Mrs. Washington's gonna be awful angry with me when she sees her clean clothes all dirty on the ground.
Hi, Big Bird.
Oh, little bird, hi.
Well, what are you gonna do, Big Bird?
I know. I could tell Mrs. Washington that a big flock of geese was flying south for the winter. Yeah, I could tell her that they flew right into the laundry hanging on the line and pulled it all down. Shoot!
Big Bird, are you sure that's a good idea?
No, that's not a good idea. Birds fly south in the fall, and it's the spring right now.
That's right. Now what I think you should say is...
I know. I could tell her that Biff and Sully drove their big crane through here on their way to the construction site at the corner. Watch out, you guys! And they ran right into her nice clean laundry.
Big Bird.
No, that's no good either. Biff and Sully wouldn't drive their crane through here.
No, they drive right down the middle of Sesame Street.
I knew it.
Big Bird, maybe what you should say is...
Let's see. Aha! I could tell Mrs. Washington that a giraffe escaped from the zoo and ran straight through the yard.
Wait, come back, Mr. Giraffe! Come back here!
And got all tangled up in her laundry and scattered it all over the place. I could tell her that.
Now, who would believe a silly story about a giraffe escaping from the zoo?
Nobody, I guess. You're right.
How about telling her the...
Wait, maybe I could tell Mrs. Washington that today was the day of the great Sesame Street bicycle race.
Since when is this an obstacle course? Watch out, Big Bird.
I could tell her that the racers rode their bikes straight into her laundry and dragged it onto the ground.
You can't tell her that. The great bicycle race was last week.
And Mrs. Washington will surely remember that because she won the race.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I guess I can't tell her that.
Big Bird, have you thought maybe you should...
How about this? I could say that there was a big fire on Sesame Street. All the engines came racing through here on the way to put out the fire. Watch out for the laundry.
I told you not to take the shortcut.
The fire? Where's the fire? Help! Fire!
There's no fire. Big Bird just made it up.
No, I can't tell Mrs. Washington that. She would know there wasn't a fire on Sesame Street today.
Big Bird, how about...
I got it. I could tell her that Alphabet Bates came down in his parachute to deliver a letter, and he landed right on her clothesline.
Oh la la, but I would never do such a thing, you know that.
I guess it's not right to blame my mistake on Alphabet Bates. It wasn't his fault.
Big Bird, maybe...
Hey, how about a circus? That's it. The circus came to perform right here on Sesame Street.
Ladies and gentlemen!
And the tightrope walker was practicing her act on Mrs. Washington's clothesline, and she knocked the whole thing down.
A circus?
Hold everything. A circus practicing in Mrs. Washington's backyard? That's a terrible idea.
That's true. She'd never believe that's what happened. Oh, boy. What will I be able to tell her?
Have you thought at all about telling her the truth?
I got it. A rodeo. There could have been a rodeo here today. Rodeo Rosie and her friends were roping steers back here.
Hee-yah! Ride 'em, cowboy!
And the steers were trying to get away, and
Me roping steers right here on Sesame Street. Big Bird, that is the gall-darndest yarn I ever did hear. Yee-haw!
you're right. That story is just as silly as the others.
Big Bird, why not just say,
I know. A tornado could have hit Sesame Street. Hang on to your feathers, little bird! The terrible winds just blew and blew and blew all the laundry down onto the ground. Certainly looks like a tornado came through here. Nah, that's no good either. Gosh, what am I gonna say?
well, if you ask me, I think you should tell her the truth.
Oh no, here comes Mrs. Washington now.
When Mrs. Washington saw her nice, clean laundry in a big, dirty mess on the ground, she was really upset.
Big Bird, look at my laundry. It's all over the ground. What on earth happened here?
Well, Mrs. Washington, it's like this. A big flock of... No, I mean, Biff and Sully and their, well, that is, a runaway giraffe on a bicycle. No, I mean, Alphabet Bates parachuted into a circus. No, Rodeo Rosie was riding in her rodeo when... Or was it a tornado? Hang on to your feathers, little bird! No, Mrs. Washington, it was none of those things.
What are you trying to tell me, Big Bird?
Mrs. Washington, I wasn't looking where I was going, and I walked right into your laundry and knocked it all down.
Oh.
Oh? Just oh? Aren't you angry?
Well, maybe a little, but I'll get over it.
I'm really sorry, Mrs. Washington.
It's okay, Big Bird.
You see, Big Bird, I told you it was better to tell Mrs. Washington the truth.
You were right, little bird. Can we help you pick up these clothes, Mrs. Washington?
Better than that, you can help me wash them again.
All right.
Don't worry about it, Big Bird. Everyone makes mistakes.
Aww.
The City Worm and the Country Worm, adapted from the Golden Book of the same name by Linda Hayward, illustrated by Carol Nicholas, featuring Jim Henson's Sesame Street Muppets, in cooperation with the Children's Television Workshop. A Sesame Street story. It's a bright, warm day, a beautiful day on Sesame Street. Oscar the Grouch is thrilled. Squiggly, one of Oscar's pet worms, has learned a new trick.
Hey, Squiggly, you're on. Oh, I can hardly wait to tell everyone about this.
Is the ladder set up?
Sure. I bet no one has seen a worm dive from a diving board into a thimble full of water.
Squiggly wriggles to the end of the diving board and looks down. The thimble looks very tiny.
Well, here goes nothing.
Squiggly takes a deep breath and... Squiggly's form was perfect.
Terrific dive! A few more practice sessions, and you'll be ready for the big time.
Good, but I don't have time to practice anymore now, Oscar. I have to go tidy up my room.
Tidy up your room?
My cousin Squirmy is coming to visit me tonight.
When my cousin Trashy visits me, I always mess up my room.
In the evening, Squirmy arrives from the country with her suitcase. The first person she sees on Sesame Street is Oscar.
Excuse me, sir. I'm looking for my cousin Squiggly. Does he live around here?
Yeah, right there, in that shoebox.
Oh, thanks. By the way, is it always so noisy in the city?
What?
I said, is it always so noisy in the city?
Oscar looks around Sesame Street. Cars and trucks are rumbling by. A garbage collector is rattling cans. A rock band is practicing upstairs.
What noise? I don't hear anything. When you live in the city, you get used to the noise.
Oh,
Cousin Squirmy, how nice of you to visit me.
Cousin Squiggly, it's wonderful to be here.
Welcome to the Big Apple.
Big Apple? Where?
Oh, that's just a funny name for the big city. We call it the Big Apple.
Oh, I see. I guess.
Squiggly takes Squirmy into his shoebox apartment and helps her unpack.
Squiggly, I love your room. You've got great taste in books. Those are great tie-dyed pillows on your bed.
The next day, Squiggly gives Squirmy a tour of the city. At the Earthworm Museum, they see 20 different kinds of dirt in the soil sample room.
What a colorful mobile.
It's called worm turning in slow motion. That makes sense.
Oh, Squiggly, look. A statue of Caesar salad worm.
And a painting by Van Glowworm. Gee, all this worm culture is really inspiring.
I've never seen anything like it in the country.
In the afternoon, they climb to the top of the Sesame Street sign and take in the view.
The city's a very exciting place, even if it is noisy.
That evening, they have front row seats at the biggest Earthworm musical stage show in town. In fact, it is the only Earthworm musical stage show in town. The next day, it is time for Squirmy to go home.
Thanks for everything, Squiggly. I hope you'll come to visit me sometime.
I've never been to the country. Do you have a lot of museums and shows?
No. We do have a lot of quiet.
After Squirmy leaves, Oscar shows Squiggly a sign. It says, "See the amazing diving trick. Come to the show starring Oscar T. Grouch."
I painted it myself. Terrific, huh?
Gee, I don't know. Can you dive into a thimbleful of water?
Well, no. You're the diver.
Then why does your sign say starring Oscar T. Grouch?
Because I made the sign.
That is unfair. I am the diver, not you. I think I'll go on a long trip. You can do the show without me.
But.
As Squiggly packs his suitcase, he wonders where he should go. He remembers his cousin, Squirmy.
That's it. I'll visit Squirmy. There will be no shows, no signs, and no grouches in the country.
So Squiggly wiggles to the bus stop and waits for the bus to the country. When Squiggly arrives at Squirmy's address, all he sees is a big apple lying on the ground.
Gee, where's Squirmy's house? I must be lost. What was that?
Cousin Squiggly. Cousin Squiggly?
You startled me. I think I heard a bird.
Of course you did. There are lots of birds here. What a surprise to see you. How nice of you to come.
It's wonderful to be here.
Welcome to the Big Apple. That's what I call my house.
Squirmy lives inside a real apple. Squiggly loves it.
I like the patchwork quilt and the sampler on the wall.
The next day, Squirmy gives Squiggly a tour of the countryside. The cousins wriggle to the local puddle and take a brisk dip.
Hey, Squirmy, how many inchworms does it take to make a foot?
Gee, I don't know. 12?
None. Worms don't have feet.
That night, they sleep under the stars, with leaves of red and green and gold for blankets.
I have never seen so many stars. There's only one problem. I can't sleep. It's too quiet. Oh, if only Oscar were here. He makes a lot of noise. Then I could go to sleep. Oscar would play me a grouch lullaby, and it would be just loud enough to put me to sleep.
In the morning, Squiggly and Squirmy are talking about this and that,
An acorn.
when a robin sitting on the branch of an apple tree notices them. And he's thinking about only one thing: breakfast.
This is the life, Squirmy. No cars, no trucks, no garbage collectors.
Jump! In here, Squiggly!
I can't move. Ow! Help!
Squiggly? Cousin Squiggly?
You pulled me into the hole just in time. What was that?
That's just Robin Redbreast.
You've seen him before?
Oh, yes. When you live in the country, you get used to birds.
Cousin, it's time for me to go home. I guess I'm just a city worm. I like living in the city.
And I guess I'm just a country worm. I like living in the country.
Goodbye, Cousin Squirmy. Thanks for everything.
So long, Cousin Squiggly. Come back soon.
When Squiggly arrives home, he's surprised to see a sign hanging on Oscar's trash can.
Welcome home, Squiggly. Oh, that makes me feel good.
How's the wandering worm?
Tired of dodging birds and riding buses. But I like your sign.
If you think that sign's great, check this one out.
See the amazing diving trick? Come to the show starring Squiggly T. Worm. Gee, that's swell. But, I had something else in mind.
Oh, see the amazing diving trick. Come to the show starring Squiggly T. Worm and Oscar T. Grouch. But Squiggly, you're the star.
Oh, not without you, Oscar. That's what friends are for.
And that's the way things are on Sesame Street.
Wanted, The Great Cookie Thief, adapted from the Golden Book of the same name by Emily Pearl Kingsley. Illustrated by Michael J. Smolin, in cooperation with the Children's Television Workshop, featuring Jim Henson's Sesame Street Muppets, a Sesame Street story.
A long time ago, back when the West was wild, there was a town that had a terrible problem.
Nobody knows the problem we have. Problem we have.
Oh, boy.
Problem
Do we have a problem?
Nobody
Oh, what a problem we have.
The problem we have. Glory, hallelujah. Would you like to know why I'm feeling so blue?
Blue? I'm not blue. I'm green. I'm purple.
We're all blue because of this terrible problem we have.
That's some problem we have, huh? What is our problem anyway? What is everybody talking about?
You don't know about the problem?
Do you think we should tell them?
Come on, I'm old enough to know.
Well, all right. See this here poster? This is The Great Cookie Thief.
Who's the Great Cookie Thief?
He's the varmint who's been stealing all the cookies from around these parts.
Stealing all the cookies? What do you mean stealing all the cookies? Sounds real serious.
Well, folks come in here and order a cookie to go with their glass of milk, and I don't have a single cookie to give them.
He got all the cookies at the ballet reception last week.
He even stole the cookies from snack time over at the Little Red Schoolhouse.
Say, this sounds like a good story for the Half-Baked Gazette. As the star newspaper reporter in this town, I better start taking notes.
The Great Cookie Thief sure must be hungry.
He's hungry, all right.
And we have a problem, all right.
But we have a sheriff who's the greatest and the bravest. A sheriff who can handle any problem, large or small.
As long as you give him a year and a half to do it in.
Hey, look, Sheriff. See that fella standing over there? Why, he looks just like the poster of the Great Cookie Thief.
Oh! He sure enough does.
The kid has something there. Why, I think he knows what he's talking about.
What a resemblance.
Where are my glasses? All this excitement and I can't see a thing.
That feller sure does look like the Great Cookie Thief. I want you to go check him out up close.
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
But why do you want me to check him out?
Because I'm appointing you my official deputy. Now don't be scared, be brave like me.
Brave?
Just go up to the poster and check out one thing at a time. Just go check his eyes.
His eyes? Right. Now, let's see. This feller in the poster has great big white googly eyes, and this feller standing here, he has great big white googly eyes. It's him! It's him! I know it's him! He has great big white googly eyes, just like the poster.
Well, it sounds like him, but we'd better be sure. After all, lots of folks have big white googly eyes.
That's my headline for the front page of my newspaper. Eyeball to eyeball with googly-eyed suspect.
I know it's him. I saw his great big white googly eyes with my very own eyes. I never saw great big white googly eyes like that before.
Now, we don't want to be hasty.
Why don't you arrest him, Sheriff? That fella next to the poster is the Great Cookie Thief.
We have to be sure to get the right feller. Let's go check out something else about him. Better go check out his fur.
Yes, check out his fur.
Guess what, Sheriff? Wild Will here says the cookie thief just struck again.
Right. Some thief just stole every last macaroon from the Cookie Jar Bakery on Main Street.
We better catch that outlaw right quick. You go see if that feller is a thief. Go back and check out his fur. Let's see. The feller in the poster has blue shaggy fur. And this feller here, why, he has blue shaggy fur too. It's him! It's him! I know it's him. He has blue shaggy fur, and the feller in the poster has blue shaggy fur too.
Come on up. Why don't you arrest him, Sheriff?
I'd arrest him if I were the sheriff.
What we need around here is one brave man.
I'd do it myself, but I don't even like cookies.
Sheriff, there's been another theft. All the cookies at Benny Lou's birthday party just disappeared.
What? That low-down, no-good varmint? Who'd steal cookies from a poor little child's birthday party?
The Great Cookie Thief!
I've got to write this down. Cookies stolen from child's birthday party.
A sheriff has to look carefully at the clues.
What clues?
It sounds like we have the Great Cookie Thief, but just to make absolutely sure, go check out his hat.
I wish they'd solve this crime. I'm getting hungry for my afternoon milk and cookies.
Check out his hat?
Yeah, sneak up on him and check out his hat.
Speaking of hats, would you mind getting off mine?
Oops, pardon me.
Well, the feller in the poster has a black felt cowboy hat. And this feller here, he has a black felt cowboy hat, too.
It's him! It's him! It's the Great Cookie Thief! He has great big white googly eyes. He has blue shaggy fur, and he has a black felt cowboy hat. Sheriff, aren't you going to arrest him now?
Good point, young lady, but we still need to have more proof.
Proof? How do we get proof against such a clever fiend? That thief is an absolute monster.
Well, young lady, now do you get the point?
I sure get the point.
Oh, that's smart! Ouch! Ouch! Ow!
Wait a a minute, everybody. Isn't this the day the Cookie Express stagecoach makes its delivery? It should arrive any minute with a new shipment of ginger snaps.
Sorry, folks, the stage arrived, but so did the great cookie thief.
Now this is getting serious. I thought of one other clue. Better go check out his bandana.
Let me see. The feller in the poster has a red bandana, and this feller standing there, he has a red bandana too.
It's him! It's him! He's exactly the same as the poster.
He's got great big white googly eyes.
He's got blue shaggy fur.
He's got a black felt cowboy hat.
And a red bandana. That feller is the great cookie thief. Now, are you gonna do something about this problem?
I'm a little hung up here. I gotta get down from here.
Oh, boy! He's gonna arrest the great cookie thief. I better take a picture for the front page of my newspaper.
Now listen here, you. We checked you out, and we think you're the great cookie thief. Oh, but, yes, you. You've got the same big white googly eyes, and the same blue shaggy fur, and the same black felt cowboy hat, and the same red bandana. Oh, but me not have same mustache.
Mustache? You don't have a mustache.
He doesn't have a mustache. Does he have a mustache? I don't think he has a mustache. I didn't have a mustache.
No, but he does.
Would you look at that mustache?
I never noticed that before.
Boy, were we wrong.
Imagine our thinking that fella looked like the great cookie thief.
Sorry we got you mixed up with a great cookie thief.
Terribly sorry, sir.
Please excuse us.
What a mistake.
Do you think I could take your picture?
Well, partner, sure hope there are no hard feelings. No hard feelings?
The great cookie thief!
Hey, come back here, you!
And soon, a little bit farther west, there was another town that had a terrible problem.
He zooms through the sky smarter than a speeding bullet, furrier than a powerful locomotive, able to leap tall sandwiches in a single bound.
Oh my goodness!
Look, up in the sky.
It's an eggplant!
It's a meatball.
It is I, Super Grover! And I am cute, too!
And now, everybody, once again, it is time for the exciting adventures of Super Grover. From the original Sesame Street story by Emily Pearl Kingsley, illustrated by Joe Matthew, featuring Jim Henson's Sesame Street Muppets. A Golden Book, in cooperation with the Children's Television Workshop.
Hello, everybody!
The origins of Super Grover.
Daddy, where did Super Grover come from? And how did he get his superpowers?
Well, kids, I'll tell you the story about Grover when he was a little monster. One day his mommy called him to come inside.
Well, Grover, I have finished your costume just in time for Halloween. I hope you like it.
Why, Mommy, it is a superhero costume. Oh, just what I always wanted.
The next day was Halloween.
Oh, dear. I must find a telephone booth so that I can put on my costume. Superheroes always change into their costumes in telephone booths. I shall run down to the telephone booth on the corner because I know that is a cute one. Super Grover!
You look nice, dear. Have a good time.
From that time on, Grover found that whenever he put on his superhero Halloween costume, he changed from mild-mannered, plain little Grover monster into the brave and fearless
Super Grover!
Besides flying,
Down, down, and away! I, Super Grover, have many superpowers. I, Super Grover, have X-ray vision. Oops, sorry, Bert.
and he has super strength.
Da-da-da-da-da-da! Oh, I am such a super helper. And I, Super Grover, have super breath. I will blow up these balloons in a jiffy with my super breath.
Super, Grover. That's enough already.
I, Super Grover, have super hearing.
What's the matter, Super Grover? That's a horrible face you're making.
Aha! It is Oscar. My super hearing tells me that, oh no, he has started practicing his violin. Oh, and I have super smell.
Is Oscar still playing his violin, Grover?
No, he has stopped.
Then why are you still making that horrible face?
My super hearing tells me that Oscar has stopped playing his violin, but my keenly developed sense of super smell tells me that Oscar has just cooked his dinner. Oh, it smells like old socks with sardine sauce. Oh.
And so, kids, that's how our mild-mannered, plain little Grover monster changed into brave and fearless Super Grover.
Remember this, kids. It is very important. Even if your mommy makes you a superhero costume, do not try to do any of these things, especially flying, because you cannot do it. You do not have superpowers, because there is only one Super Grover! And that is me.
Super Grover and the Speeding Sled. One winter day, Rhonda Subisi decided to find the biggest and steepest hill she could and go sledding.
Oh, look at this beautiful long hill. I've never gone down this hill on my sled. I think I'll go for it. Whee! This is great!
Meanwhile, Super Grover was flying high above.
I must see if anybody is in trouble. Yoo-hoo! Anybody need help? Your friendly neighborhood superhero is available right now. Any takers? What is that? My super sharp eyes see something far down below.
Whee!
Oh my goodness! That little girl is sledding down that steep, steep hill. Look how fast she is going.
Whee!
And look at those big trees down at the very bottom of this steep hill. That little girl will certainly crash into those trees. I, Super Grover, must warn her.
Whee!
Down, down, and away! How about this super plan? I will make a big stop sign to show that sweet little girl. When that sweet little girl sees this, she will know to slow down her sled and stop. Oh, here she comes now. Little girl, it is I, Super Grover, here to tell you. Do you see? Uh-oh. My stop sign did not work. I must use my super brain to think up something else to stop her.
I wonder what that stop sign was doing right in the middle of this hill.
Aha! I have another super clever idea. I will build a great big wall of snow. That will surely stop that little girl.
Oh no! A great big wall of snow in front of me. If I don't watch out, I'll crash into it.
Hey!
Whoa, that was close.
How about this super smart plan? I am hanging here from the branch of this cute little tree. When that little girl goes under me, I will catch her by the ankles and stop her with my super strength. You know, sometimes even I am impressed with how super smart...
I wonder what that furry blue thing was.
Help! Oh, stop! Oh, help! Oh!
You know, I'm getting awfully close to all those big trees. I'd better slow down or I might crash right into them. Easy does it.
That little girl does not even know how to stop.
Super Grover got up and brushed the snow from his super cape.
Now, you were going down that hill very, very fast.
Oh, hi, Super Grover. Wow, that was the best sled ride I ever had. There was a stop sign sticking up out of nowhere. Then there was a great big wall of snow. And then there was a furry blue thing hanging from a tree. It was incredible. It was fantastic. I'm going to do that again. Do you want to come with me, Super Grover?
Oh, my goodness.
Super Grover. Super Grover.
Super Grover and the Three Bears. One day, Grover went to the school auditorium to see the school play Goldilocks and the Three Bears. Grover didn't understand that a play is just pretend, and that an audience is meant to keep quiet.
Look, there she is. That is my friend, Prairie Dawn. Hello, Prairie. Yoo-hoo. Yo, Prairie. Yaha. Over here.
Grover, really?
In the play, Goldilocks ate up all the bears' porridge, and Goldilocks sat on the bears' 3 chairs. Then she went to lie down on the bears' 3 beds.
Oh, my. This bed is too hard. And this bed is too soft. But this bed is just right.
As soon as Goldilocks fell asleep, the 3 bears came home from their walk in the woods.
Oh, no, baby bear. There is a little girl sleeping in your bed. Yoo-hoo, little girl. Wake up.
Oh, dear. Oh, help. 3 big, terrible, ferocious bears. Yeek!
Oh, my goodness. My little friend Prairie Dawn is in a lot of trouble. Just look at those bears. They must have escaped from the zoo. I had better capture them. This is a job for Super Grover. Oops, sorry. Excuse me.
Sit down.
Oh, dear. I am so embarrassed. I forgot that I must change into my Super Grover costume first. Now, let me think. Yes. I think I saw a telephone booth out in the lobby. Excuse me, please.
Hey, that was my foot.
Sorry.
Well, I never.
Sorry, madam. Boy, it sure is a good thing I remembered to put my cute little Super Grover costume into the bottom of my lunchbox. You never can tell when it will come in handy. Super Grover! Oops. Some of the ketchup from my meatloaf sandwich seems to have leaked onto my Super Grover costume. Oh well. Have no fear, Prairie Dawn! Brave and fearless Super Grover will take those 3 ugly and ferocious bears back to the zoo.
I do not believe this is happening. Grover, this is a play. Those are not real bears.
Do not worry, Prairie Dawn. I, Super Grover, will take care of these terribly vicious bears so they will never ever bother you or anybody else again.
Grover, it's only a play. Bring them back.
I, Super Grover, will teach you big, mean bears not to bother such nice little girls.
Look, up in the sky. It's an eggplant. It's a meatball.
you are, where big, ferocious bears like you belong. And now, back to the auditorium. Adios, bears.
Back in the empty auditorium, Prairie Dawn sat all alone on the stage.
I will never forget what you did today, Grover.
Do not thank me. We superheroes live to serve. Now that those 3 dangerous bears are back in the zoo, you can go on with your play.
Now I'll never be a star.
Meanwhile, at the zoo...
Please hurry, Mr. Zookeeper. Sir.
Super Grover and the Whole Story, or Gone Fishing. One summer day, Grover went fishing with a bunch of his friends.
I'm using my best bent paperclip for a hook. I'll catch lots of minnows.
Me gonna catch big fish and trade it for cookies. Yeah. Chocolate chip cookies. Oh boy. Oatmeal cookies. Oh boy.
Keep your line away from mine, Grover.
My goodness! There is a hole in this boat. Hey, everybody! We had better plug up this hole, or else the boat will fill up with water and sink, and we will all get wet. My goodness! Everybody is so busy fishing that nobody is paying any attention to Grover. That means that this is a job for Super Grover. It certainly is a good thing I remembered to pack my Super Grover costume in the bottom of my lunch basket. And now to find a telephone booth. Oh my goodness! There is no telephone booth under this bunk, or in the cupboards, or in this cabin, anywhere. There does not seem to be a telephone booth on this entire boat. I cannot change into my Super Grover costume. And if I cannot change into my Super Grover costume, I do not have any of my superpowers. Oh, what am I going to do? Wait a moment. I just thought of something kind of crazy. Maybe I can fix that hole myself. Not Super Grover, but just plain old little Grover monster. Oh, I am so scared. How about that? Without my superpowers, I had to use my plain old regular cute finger. And guess what? It worked just fine. Meanwhile, I can keep right on fishing with my other hand. Oh dear. Hey, there is another hole in this boat. Hey, everybody! I am already plugging up one hole with my cute finger. If somebody does not fix that other hole, this boat will fill up with water and sink. Keep it down, Grover.
But again, everybody was so busy fishing that nobody heard him.
Gee, if I stretch real far like this, I can just about reach that new hole with my big toe. I will stick my toe in the hole, and maybe it will stop the water from coming in. Well, it is a little awkward fishing this way, but it is a lot better than sinking.
Well, can you believe it? Grover suddenly noticed a third hole, and he stopped the water from coming in by sticking a toe from his other foot into the hole.
Oh, my goodness! I do not even think Super Grover could have done a better job of plugging up these holes. Oh, my mommy would be so proud.
But then, suddenly, Grover caught a fish. A big one.
Keep it down, Grover. You'll frighten the fish away.
The water started pouring into the boat faster than ever. As Grover was pulled down to the bottom, he saw, could it be? Was it possible? An old rusty telephone booth. Grover quickly swam into the old rusty telephone booth and changed into his Super Grover costume.
Super Grover! I forgot you cannot talk underwater. How silly of me. I, powerful Super Grover, am picking up this whole big boat to save it from sinking. Hey!
And that is how Grover Monster and Super Grover saved the day.
Who was that flying blue monster anyway?
It's an eggplant.
It's a meatball.
Oh, gosh. I thought it was a flying eggplant.
I told you it was a meatball.
It is I, Super Grover! Goodbye, everybody! Remember this, kids. It is very important. Even if your mommy makes you a superhero costume, do not try to do any of these things, especially flying, because you cannot do it. You do not have superpowers, because there is only one Super Grover! And that is me.
Big Bird brings spring to Sesame Street, adapted from the Golden Book of the same name. A Sesame Street story. A Golden Book by Lauren Collier Swindler. Illustrated by Marcia Winborn. Featuring Jim Henson's Sesame Street Muppets. In cooperation with the Children's Television Workshop. One morning, Big Bird went for a walk down Sesame Street. Everything was disappearing under a thick blanket of plain white snow.
Gee, everything is covered with snow. The sidewalks where we played hopscotch and jump rope last summer are all covered. Even the tire swing. Everything I like to play on is hidden. I wish spring would come.
Big Bird walked through the park feeling sorry for himself.
Hi, Big Bird. Isn't the snow wonderful? Hi, Big Bird.
I don't think so. I wish it was spring already.
Hey, Big Bird. Want to slide down the hill with me? It's fun, see? Whee!
No, thanks. I want to ride my unicycle, but I can't in all this snow.
Look, Big Bird, the ice is perfect for skating. Come on over.
No thanks, kids. I'd rather go roller skating, and the snow's too deep. I can't even play in the sandbox anymore. Winter's no fun at all. I'm going home.
But as Big Bird walked past Oscar's garbage can...
I love this crummy weather. Gotta chill this hot chocolate down so it tastes good and yucky. Hi, Oscar. Hey, what's the matter, Big Bird? It's a great storm. You ought to be happy. I'm tired of this plain white snow. Yeah, me too. I wish somebody would put some dirt or soot on it or something. We haven't had any good slush all winter. That's not what I meant, Oscar. I need the spring. I'm sad and slumpy. I need the spring. I'm all goosebumpy. The cold and slush and all that sneezing. I hate the snow.
Who needs the sun? I like it freezing. Let that wind blow. Oh, that's heaven, gloomy and dreary. I love a day that is chilly, wet, and bleary.
I need the days with a warm and gentle sun. This long, dark winter is just no fun.
It warms my heart to feel the frost.
I want the warmer days I've lost of spring, spring, spring.
Well, forget it, Featherface.
Gee, Oscar, I'm going to be just as grouchy as you if I don't think of something to cheer myself up. Maybe I should buy some sunglasses to remind me of a sunny day. No, wait a minute. A great big bright kite might do it. I guess not.
Suddenly, Big Bird had a wonderful idea.
I'm going to go get some flowers at McIntosh's store right now. I'll buy some flowers to put in my nest.
Yeah, you could get some cactus flowers or a Venus flytrap.
Goodbye, Oscar.
Oh, there are so many pretty flowers. It's hard to decide. I know. I'll pick my favorite colors. A pink one, orange one, a blue one, a yellow one, a red one, and finally, a pretty purple one. I feel better already.
Big Bird walked back toward Sesame Street with his beautiful flowers. Big Bird decided to warm up in front of the Count's fireplace. As soon as the Count's friendly bats saw the flowers, they started to count them.
1 beautiful flower. We love counting flowers. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 beautiful flowers.
Gee, I didn't buy the flowers to count them. I bought them to remind me of spring. Would you like to keep this pretty pink daisy?
The Count thanked Big Bird. Counting petals would be something wonderful to do.
1 pretty pink flower petal. 2 pretty pink flower petals. 3 pretty pink flower petals. 4 pretty pink flower petals.
Big Bird walked down Sesame Street carrying his 5 flowers.
Why, there's Dolores shoveling snow. Hi, Dolores.
Hi, Big Bird. Whoops!
Oh, Dolores, are you hurt?
No, Big Bird, I'm not hurt, but I am tired of winter and shoveling snow.
Well, let me help you up here.
Thanks.
Hey, Dolores, you may have one of my flowers. It'll help you feel happy again.
Thank you. Oh, it's a tiger lily. Tiger lilies make me think of a nice, warm jungle.
Big Bird walked down Sesame Street with the 4 flowers he had left.
There's my cute, furry, adorable friend, Grover. Oh, boy, he looks sad, too. Good morning, Grover.
Oh, my goodness. Furry old Grover is very blue.
Well, of course you're blue. You have blue fur.
No, Big Bird. I am very sad.
Why?
I cannot ride my new scooter in the snow.
Gee, I know how you feel. I can't use my unicycle or play in the sandbox or fly my kite either. Say, maybe this blue pansy will make you feel better, Grover.
Oh, this little blue pansy will be so cute on Grover's little furry body. I will tuck it in my cap.
Oh dear, only 3 flowers left. But I guess Grover and Dolores and the Count are happier though.
Big Bird carried his 3 flowers down the street until he saw another friend.
Ernie, you look cold. I'm so cold, my tail feathers are frozen. Where are you going?
Ernie told Big Bird that he was going to visit Betty Lou because she was sick in bed.
Oh, well, do you think she would like a yellow daffodil? Oh, now I only have 2 flowers left.
Ernie took the daffodil, and Big Bird went into Hooper's store to warm his feathers.
My beak is freezing. Maybe I'll buy some hot cider to warm up. Or maybe I could wrap a new muffler around my cold beak. Gee, there's Bert sipping a figgy fizz. What's wrong, Bert? You look kind of glum.
I lost my favorite paper clip in a snowdrift.
Gee, that's terrible.
Yeah, I'll have to wait until the snow melts to find it. Oh, Big Bird, what if my paperclip gets all rusted by then?
Don't worry, Bert. Your paperclip will still be there in the spring.
Oh, Big Bird. Say, what are you gonna do with that beautiful rose? Huh?
Well, I was gonna give it to you, Bert, to remind you of spring.
Oh, thanks.
As Big Bird left Hooper's store, he looked at his last flower.
Oh, no. I've only got this one purple iris left, and it's broken.
Oscar saw Big Bird coming.
Did someone say broken? I love things that are broken, even if it's a yucky flower. Gee, Oscar, if you like my purple iris, then I guess you may have it. Hey, thanks, Featherface. Now, leave me alone and get lost.
Empty-handed, Big Bird walked back up Sesame Street toward his nest. He had given away all 6 flowers.
Oh, well, soon it will be spring. Look at all the colors.
The plain white snow-covered street was splashed with bright colors. The flowers Big Bird had given to his friends were blooming up and down Sesame Street. Big Bird had brought spring to Sesame Street.
I don't have to wait for spring at all.
Winter's not bad at all, it's true, on Sesame Street. It can be fun, it's up to you, on Sesame Street. Who needs the sun or frozen ponds? We love to skate. Just put them on your toes, let's not be late. Like Big Bird's flowers that bring an early reminder of spring. You too can do your part. Find spring, it's in your heart. Oscar's iris is nice